Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today, we are covering Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Me say day. So, it's been maybe last year or a couple of years back, but we did cover the first Beetlejuice. So, you'll just have to go back in the archives to look at that one.
We've already done it.
But before we go into the review for the sequel, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So today I am drinking the Republic of Tea Turmeric Ginger Tea. It has turmeric, green tea, ginger, cinnamon, and honey flavor.
Great for those with inflammation issues. I am also drinking Republic of Tea, and it's one of our favorites, the Daily
classic.
Beauty Blueberry Lavender Tea. And it has, you'd think I would have just memorized it by now, but nope. It's got blue butterfly pea flower and blueberry, hibiscus, rosehip, bamboo, schizandra berry, organic green rooibos leaf, organic hibiscus flower, I already said that, organic lemongrass leaf, organic rose hips, apple, organic lavender, sweet blackberry leaves, organic hibiscus extract, organic lemon balm, bamboo, blueberry, schizandra berry. I'm reading from this now too. And natural blueberry flavor with other natural flavors, it says in the other ingredients. It's got a lot, but it's tasty.
Yep.
It's like a hug in a cup.
It is. But thank you for the... But thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So for the summary, there's kind of multiple stuff going on in this movie. So first, Beetlejuice's wife or ex-wife comes back to life and is trying to chase after him.
No, I feel like she more awakens in the afterlife.
What did I say?
Comes back to life.
Well, okay, it reawakens in the afterlife. And then also it goes through, what's her name? The Winona's character.
Lydia,
there we go. Goes through Lydia and her daughter,
Astrid.
Because their Lydia's father dies from a shark attack after a plane crash. So it's like it has all of that, and then at one point, like Beetlejuice tries to marry Lydia again, but then also aside from that, Astrid starts hanging out with a boy that she finds out is dead, and he uses her to try and come back to life. I don't know. There's a lot going on.
There's several different arcs in this one.
There are. Yeah.
There's the tool that's trying to marry Lydia, apart from Beetlejuice. Whole separate tool. There's Astrid and Lydia finding Astrid's father in the afterlife and getting the resolution from that.
Yeah.
There's the kid that's the killer kid that's trying to come back to life in place of Lydia or Astrid. There's whole bunches.
Yeah. So for entertainment, I will say I really did enjoy this movie.
Yes.
But It definitely, I feel like it had too many stories going on at once. Like, I felt like Beetlejuice's wife played pretty much no major part in the movie. Like, she was there.
She wasn't, I feel like she should have been a bigger part than she was.
Right. Like, I feel like they could have removed the Tool fiance.
Yes.
And, like, they could have picked some stuff out.
Yeah.
And then make her the bigger part.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like with the current rendition of the movie, I feel like she made absolutely no difference and she didn't even need to be in the movie.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to play that, which I thought was kind of a fun callback to like the previous movie, I wish they would have made her a more integral part of the plot.
I feel like she was the plot device to get Beetlejuice to want to marry Lydia again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like she was the reason why he was like, I gotta get hitched.
Yeah. Yeah. But all of the original actors that they had come back did an awesome job.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had cameos of a lot of famous actors, and they also did an awesome job.
Yes.
And I mean, it does very much stick with the Beetlejuice comedy that we know and love, where it's just like ridiculous.
Yes.
It's just
a lot of slapstick.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I did really like the marriage scene between Beetlejuice and Lydia, but I felt like it dragged on too long.
Way too long. The music part went on way too long.
Yeah.
About halfway through or so, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Skip.
I don't know. It's like they just, it's like overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I found it really entertaining, but there's just certain decisions that they made that I was like, man, if they had either skipped that altogether or changed that decision to something else, it would have made the movie a lot better.
Yeah. Choices were made. I don't agree with all of them.
Oh. I would give it a 7.25, I think. Like, I don't know. I'm dancing between a 7.25 and a 7.5. I don't know. It's tough. It's just...
It's okay. I'm dancing between a 6.75 and a 7.
Yeah. But it's like I said, it's an enjoyable movie. They just made some decisions that I don't think did the movie justice or made it better. For those who are wondering about what happened to Lydia's father's actor, so after the last movie, I'm not going to... Let's just say that he was charged of... well, I believe he is actually charged. But anyways...
I don't remember if he was convicted or not, but he was charged.
I guess, okay, since we don't know whether he was charged or not, I'll just say he allegedly did some criminal stuff concerning kids.
Yeah.
So...
we don't know if he was even asked to come back.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
But, yeah, so, I liked the style of the clay animation when they showed his death, but it was very disruptive to the story. So it's like, I feel like if they're not going to have him like actually there, they could have done it in a style that either fit more with Beetlejuice or skip the animation altogether. But I mean, I don't know, because it's like at the same time, watching the animated version of like what happened was a good like joke or comedy skit or whatever. Like it was like funny because it's like, oh, he survived the plane crash and then a shark comes and eats him. Like that's hilarious. But I don't know. Like I said, the way that they went about it felt kind of disruptive, and it's kind of like, what the fuck are they doing right now?
Personally, I think that was a choice, and it could have been skipped.
The whole Astrid and the kid, I thought was interesting, and I'm glad that they included that, because it kind of helped awaken her to what her mom was experiencing and made her realize, like, oh shit, like, she's not
getting around here.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know how I feel about some of Lydia's struggles that they have her go through. Like, first being kind of used in a lot of ways by her fiance or boyfriend. But then her also having some, I guess, like, mental health struggles is the best way to put it.
Well, it's a lot of heavy stuff that she's dealt with.
Yeah, yeah. But,
seeing death everywhere and ghosts everywhere would kind of get to you a little bit. I feel like.
I guess it was just the way that they went about it, but I guess it does fit with... It was a way for them to also demonstrate how toxic the boyfriend was. Because he's like, don't take your pills.
Yes. I put on here, never mess with people's prescriptions unless you're the prescribing doctor and it's for the good of the patient.
Right.
Otherwise, don't touch people's pills.
Yeah. But I did really like how... I mean, the mother in the first movie was definitely dramatic, but I felt like she went...
Stepmother.
Yes, stepmother.
She was super extra in the first movie, for sure.
But I feel like in this movie, she was like even more extra.
Oh, she totally stepped it up.
The snakes and then the mourning veil over
Oh my
house.
God, yes, the mourning shroud and the primal screaming.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like they had some really good moments in this movie, I thought.
And when they drive to the school to pick up Astrid, and she's legit just yelling in front of the school for Astrid, and then she's yelling, "Stop torturing your mother." What? Madam, can you not bring the entire freaking school in on this?
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm so conflicted because there are some really good golden moments in this movie, but there were just some choices made that I don't agree with. So that's kind of the sum of it for me.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7. I did like it better watching it the second time around than I did the first time. We both went into it with fairly low expectations because we didn't want to be hurt. We both really, really loved the original, and we knew not to get our hopes up too high. So I feel like we were both kind of pleasantly surprised. It wasn't quite as low as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But we were correct in assuming that it wasn't going to be as good as the original.
Yeah.
Again, there were choices that were made that we didn't necessarily agree with. Personally, I feel like the claymation, the style was a lot different than in the first one, and I feel like it didn't really quite fit. I feel like we would have gotten the same feel and the same impact from just Delia saying what happened instead of having to see it in claymation. It was very disruptive. It was definitely a choice. I am glad that they had several people reprising their roles, including Lydia, Delia, and Beetlejuice. That was very nice and appreciated. I'm also glad that they explained the lack of appearance from the Maitlands. I feel like they really could have taken out the Tool boyfriend, and it wouldn't have detracted from the storyline at all. I am glad, however, that because they had him in there, Astrid called him out on his bullshit. Delia was truly in top form the entire movie with her extra personality. Just got an extra scoop of that extra personality, I swear. I love how they brought back one of her sculptures from the first movie as the sculpture in front of the art school. That was fantastic. They really don't pull punches when it comes to this movie and some of the jokes that they have. So they have like a shark fin for the guy's tombstone, which I feel like is an extra slap in the face.
That whole scene was just funny with like the choir singing.
And it was a beautiful rendition of Deo. Yeah. It really was, but... We were dying. We were dying of laughter when we first saw that. It was somewhat satisfying when the Tool boyfriend / fiance bit it. Because he was so annoying throughout like the entire movie. I even put in my notes at one point, gag me with a fucking spoon. I'm so sick of this guy and his BS. So, yeah, I mean, like he blindsided her at her father's funeral and guilted her into agreeing to marry him in 2 days. What kind of a douche would do something like that? Just, it's ridiculous. I do like that they only hint at the guy that Astrid hangs out with is dead because they make it a point not to show the parents' faces when they're walking through the house. Yeah. So there's just small signs here and there. And like when Lydia drops Astrid off on Halloween, you see all these kids trick-or-treating and everything, and the lights are on the house, but no one is going up to the door to trick-or-treat. And the yard is one of the more unkempt ones in the neighborhood, which, you know, there's always one or two of those houses in any neighborhood, even with an HOA, but it just still seemed a little out of place, you know? Mm-hmm. So it was cool that they had just little hints here and there and didn't just bash you over the head with it.
Yeah.
And of course, if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And Astrid found that out the hard way. Snake venom is a thing, but it's not how it shows it in this movie, but it was still interesting and kind of funny how she died.
That was pretty funny.
They even hinted at, oh no, I paid extra for them to be defanged. It's safe. It's fine. I'm just going to do this on camera and it'll be great. And then she's in the cemetery and they just go dink and dead.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely 10 out of 10.
It was good comedy, but bad realism.
Hilarious. And of course we will get to the realism, but it was just so funny. Oh my god, so funny. The music choices for the most part are pretty good in the movie. The whole thing kind of draws you in. So I honestly didn't write as many notes as I should have, I feel like. I did feel though that the murderer kid's arc, his resolution was a bit rushed and kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever they killed him, I was like, really?
It was very abrupt.
Easy?
Yeah, it was very abrupt, and that was it. He was done.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I think they had too many stories going on. Yeah.
And it's nice that they wrapped them all up, but at the same time, it was just...
They had to rush some of them.
A little bit,
wrap
yeah.
It up. Yeah.
A little bit. Of course, they had to bring the sandworm back into it from Saturn.
Yeah.
But it was just... There was a lot of fun callbacks. There were a lot of fun numbers and things. There were different references that were great. I loved how they brought some of the characters back. I just feel like there were some things that they could have just shaved off a little bit here and there.
Yep. Yep. Oh, realism. How do you even rate realism for this? I'll give it a 1. I don't know, because it's like the tool boyfriend and the over-the-top mother, like, and what Lydia was going... It's like all of them I can see as possible, but they're just... A lot of them are over-exaggerated.
Way over-exaggerated.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's tough.
It really is. I feel like in keeping with the characters, a lot of it makes sense. And I can see the tool of a boyfriend being the kind of person that preys on women that have had fallen on hardship and all, because they met at a grief
he
support
definitely
group,
was going there with
he even said, he's like, I hit the codependency jackpot. He wanted someone that he could manipulate and all. And he saw her and was like, yes, absolutely. And just, I can see it. I don't agree with it, but I can see it. I can see how Lydia would be struggling with issues with it and how it would strain the relationship between her and her daughter, especially with their father and all. And just, I can see that. And Astrid said she's very much I believe in things I can see that have actual evidence and everything. Tangible evidence. So she kind of had to be slapped in the face with hey, by the way, I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
Funny you should mention that. So a lot of those kinds of things make sense, but at the same time, like the defanged asps that weren't actually defanged. Lawsuit Central.
I hope she can get a refund on that.
Which is what she said. She's like, I'm counting on you guys to get a full refund. I don't know. It's hard to rate it because in the realm of Beetlejuice, most of the stuff made sense. But at the same time, it's freaking Beetlejuice. Like, I might give it a 1.5. Because again, I can see some of the stuff happening if you make allowances for it being a Beetlejuice movie. And him trying to duck out on different things and all that makes sense. I did find it kind of interesting getting a little bit of backstory on Beetlejuice. I feel like it wasn't quite in keeping with what he had initially said in the first movie.
Yeah, I agree. They took some liberties.
Yeah, a little bit.
I liked Bob.
I did like Bob. I felt really bad. That poor Bob got taken out by the soul sucker. I, again, wish that they had a bit more of the soul sucker ex lady. Because I honestly thought she was kind of badass. Her intro scene? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like they
Hell yeah.
introduced her so well and then they showed her like 3 or 4 different scenes.
Yeah, and then the next scene she goes to the dry cleaner thing and gets a dress, turns it black, and looks freaking awesome. She looks freaking awesome. And I expected a bit more, and then you hear a little bit of the backstory, and that was cool too. So I feel like we should have gotten a bit more.
Yeah, it's like so much effort for very little payoff.
It really was. And then she was off like that from a freaking sandworm. Like she busts in there all badass, and I'm expecting this big smackdown and all of epic proportions. Is Beetlejuice and his ex, who's been awesome and scary. and great this whole time. So I was a bit bummed by the ending. They took up way too much time with the musical number and could have had more for a fight scene. I do hope, though, since they sort of semi-set it up for a third one, that they call that one Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of what they're alluding to.
Please do. But it does, I feel like, get a little bit better each time you watch it. Just a little bit. There's a lot going on. It is a bit of a cluster.
Yeah.
But it's
a
decent.
fun cluster.
Mm-hmm. It is a fun cluster.
But thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support us monetarily, we have our Teespring or PayPal available, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea. It does not affect the price of the tea, it just allows us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of those sites mentioned linked below, but until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy. Bye!